BRAINY presents 10 Ways Introverts Intimidate People. Introversion is a personality trait that many extroverts have difficulty understanding. It can manifest in different ways, but it usually means that someone goes out of their way to avoid social situations. However, introverts aren't necessarily shy or antisocial. They just need more time for themselves than others do. And while this personality trait can be a source of strength and resilience, it also means that introverts are often misunderstood and may come across as intimidating to those who don't know them well. With this in mind, here are 10 things about introverts that might intimidate people. Number 1, they're low-key and prefer to avoid drama. You know how some people have a hard time staying out of drama? Well, introverts are the opposite. They rarely create a scene or cause trouble. They aren't the type to look for conflict, and they generally don't want to be in the spotlight. Nonetheless, they sometimes come across as intimidating when they do speak up or when they assert themselves in a situation where there might be some tension or disagreement among the people involved. Number 2, they are highly intelligent. Introverts are often highly intelligent. They're usually bookworms and are more likely to be highly educated, so you can expect them to have a lot of knowledge about history, philosophy, science, and other intriguing subjects. And while introverts do enjoy intellectual discussions with other like-minded people, they're simply not interested in gossip or small talk that doesn't serve a real purpose or add value to the conversation. They'd rather spend their time learning than chatting about celebrities' love lives. Number 3, they can be brutally honest. Introverts are not afraid of being honest or saying an unpopular thing. Most of them have no problem saying exactly what they think, even if it isn't what people want to hear. They are willing to speak their minds without mincing their words or worrying about how their opinion might affect the way others view them. This can be intimidating, since the introvert won't pretend to agree with everything you say. They might call out your faults or openly disagree with your point of view. Number 4, they take things very seriously. Introverts take things very seriously, which means they tend to be as focused on their interests as possible. They are not easily intimidated or distracted by other people's interests and activities. In fact, they probably find them boring. This can come off as snobbish if you're not used to dealing with someone so self-assured in their own tastes. Number 5, they ask hard questions. Introverts don't just make conversation to pass time, but rather to clarify and understand. They want to make sure they know what's going on and use communication as a tool for this purpose. That said, when an introvert asks a pointed question that makes you think, it can feel very intimidating in comparison to the easygoing questions other people might ask, like how's your day going, for example. This is because it makes you feel like they already know more about what you're saying than you do, which causes your brain to kick into overdrive, trying to figure out how they figured out all that stuff before you did. Number 6, they have good control over their emotions. Introverts are not easily angered, and they are very good at keeping their emotions in check. They also tend to be rational, which means they're less likely to be oversensitive. People might feel intimidated by an introvert because of the way they respond to others. They're quiet, self-contained, and polite. This doesn't mean that introverts never get upset, but they generally aren't prone to emotional outbursts or dramatic flare-ups like some extroverted people might be. Number 7, their introspection makes them seem standoffish. When you're with an introvert, it's easy to think that they're aloof and detached. They may seem like they don't care about the people around them, or that it might be difficult to get close to them. But in reality, they're just busy doing their own thing. Introverts are so in tune with themselves that they don't need validation from others or constant distractions in order to feel fulfilled in life. They also tend to keep their inner selves mostly private, which means that when you do get an introvert's attention, it feels like a big deal. Number 8, they're good at reading people. Introverts are highly observant and pay attention to details that others miss. They can read people like an open book, and they're not easily swayed or manipulated. This gives introverts a sense of power, which can intimidate those who may try to take advantage of them. Number 9, they are not daunted by social norms. Perhaps one of the most intimidating things about introverts is that they don't care about what other people think. Since they don't see themselves as part of the crowd, they aren't overly concerned about social norms. Rather than feeling compelled by other people's expectations, or trying hard not to fall short of those expectations, most prefer spending time alone, where no one can judge them based on how well they conform to some arbitrary standard set by society. Number 10, they are independent. Introverts don't need people to be happy, and they don't feel lonely when they are alone. As a matter of fact, many introverts prefer their own company over being around others. They are comfortable doing things independently and don't need constant socializing to have fun or to feel good about themselves. They do enjoy spending time with people, but only when it makes sense for them, which is usually not very often. While it's easy to see how others might interpret these qualities as intimidating, the truth is that introverts are just driven by different priorities and values. They have their own way of living life, and it works for them. Introverts don't mean to intimidate people. They just have a way of doing so inadvertently. If you want more information about introversion, then check out the links in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share with your friends so we can keep making them. For more videos like this, hit the subscribe button and remember to click on the notification bell. Also, be sure to check out our other videos as well. Thanks for watching.